What we're going to do is we're going to split screen mount this RiderScan onto this screen. I'm going to show you how it's done. First of all, what you do with your RiderScan, you undo these two bolts here and remove them. What you do is you open this up with your fingers and put your finger and thumb and push from behind, because what you want to do is you want to get this tie bar from here. So we'll do that. Let's quickly remove that. Holding onto the RiderScan, you don't want it to go skating across the floor. And then of course you open your sports mount. Now then, what you want to do is you want to put this tie bar into place, but you want to turn it this way so the adhesive is facing to the top of the RiderScan, and all you do is simply slide this in rather like you took the other one out. Now this tie bar is 1 mil wider than the RiderScan regular tie bar, and that's so it's less chance of being spun by the wind. Anyway, just pop that in at the other side and pop it in so it's like this. Put your hex bolt and washer back in place, but don't tighten it up at all, just leave it good and loose. Okay, so now you've mounted this complete sports screen mount onto the RiderScan. You've left these loose, big gaps here, and it's still quite tight at that, as you can see, and the adhesive is at the top. Then you go to your screen, which you have here. I'll just move this around, and you decide really where you want it to be mounted. I mean, you could have it, for example, you could have it right inside the screen there if you so wished, which I don't think you would. It's got two articulation points here, but also it pivots on the RiderScan as well, so it's very adjustable. So let's say, for example, it was ideal for you there. Now the reason that you mount this onto the RiderScan when you're going to mount the RiderScan is to make sure that you've got it level, because if you have it slightly off angle a little, it'll be skew whiff. So what you do, you get it perfectly level, you get it to where you want it to be with all the articulations in place, and just for saying sake we're going to put it there. Okay, so what you do then is you make sure it's perfectly level, get it in place, and you make a series of marks on the outside of the screen where you want it to be. Just a couple of marks there, and one at the bottom there, one at the bottom there, and one at the bottom there. So it's 5 marks, and that really shows you where it's to sit. Okay, so you take the protective paper off, you go to your bottom mark and you just place it on to the bottom mark, and then you just line it up to the top marks, and then you're good. Then you give it a firm press, as you'll see where it's not adhered, it's slightly different shade to where it has adhered. So you try to get as much air out as possible. You've got this in place. Get rid of your marks that you put on your screen, and that's your RiderScan stuck on to anywhere you want it to be. Simple as that. And that's it done, and it ain't gonna come off. That is absolutely solid. And once you've got it in position and you're totally happy with it, tighten these up a little bit. You won't have to tighten up much because it's actually quite tight on there anyway. And of course tighten up the other bolts. Now it's going to be quite difficult to get in there. You'd be able to get the small bit of the Allen key in there to hold that and get a spanner on that one there. This one's going to be much easier to get to. Well, that's it. Simple as that.